Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're taking a really close look at a system that pretty much all of us interact with, but, we rarely actually stop to question it. We're going to explore a fascinating documentary transcript titled The Price of Obedience: Who Owns the Rules? And it really challenges a core assumption about how society operates, specifically when it comes to obedience, institutional control, and, well, money. We're going to unpack those everyday systems we just kind of blindly accept.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Think about how the modern workplace operates. They pay us a salary, and in return, naturally, we follow their rules. It's a universally understood equation, right? But then flip that and look at college and higher education. In that scenario, we pay them. So what does that equal? Why does the exact same dynamic of control exist when the flow of money is completely reversed? That is the core paradox we're unpacking today.
Section 1. The logic of the workplace and the transactional nature of employment.
When you walk into a typical office, swipe your badge, and sit down at your desk, there's a very clear set of expectations. You've got to be on time, you hit your targets, you sit through the meetings, and you follow company policy. And honestly, as adults, this transactional arrangement makes total logical sense. We generally don't fight these mundane realities because we fully understand the trade that's happening.
It all boils down to this. The company is paying for our time. We willingly surrender a certain chunk of our daily autonomy because, well, there's a direct financial transaction taking place. Our compliance, our obedience to that corporate structure is basically just a direct trade for a paycheck. That's the established rule of the game.
Section 2. The college paradox and a reversal of the financial flow. Now picture a crowded college campus. The long lines to pay tuition, the endless online payment portals. In this environment, the money is flowing in the exact opposite direction. Students and their parents are the ones paying the institution. And let's be real, this isn't just pocket change. We're talking lakhs of rupees in fees, massive student loans, and years of really intense family sacrifice. In this scenario, you are the customer. You are literally the financial fuel keeping the whole place running.
And yet, despite footing this massive bill, look at the incredibly strict rules students have to face. Wear exactly what they say. Sit where they tell you to sit. Speak only when you're allowed to speak. Maintain perfect attendance so you don't get hit with arbitrary fines. Actually, scratch that. It's having to ask permission for absolutely everything. It's a system of rigid, almost infantilizing institutional control that frankly mirrors and sometimes even exceeds the restrictions of a corporate office.
Which brings us to this massive, glaring contradiction. If offices get to control people because they're paying the salaries, then why do colleges get to control students when the students are the ones paying? It's a profound case of cognitive dissonance. The financial flow is completely backwards, but the power dynamic, identical. The customer is basically paying top dollar for the privilege of being heavily managed.
Section 3. The trust deficit, treating paying adults like subordinates.
This poses a really fascinating question about our social dynamics. Why is respect so often demanded instead of earned? Students are frequently treated like they owe complete, unquestioning obedience to a system they're financially supporting. They get stopped at gates, face intense disciplinary faculty interactions, and have respect extracted from them purely based on institutional hierarchy, not because of any sort of mutual exchange. The contrast here is just night and day. In workplaces, employees are generally trusted with responsibility, right? You casually bounce ideas off your manager. But on campus, you have monitored students. Young adults are subjected to heavy surveillance, like exam halls crawling with monitors, CCTV cameras absolutely everywhere, and constant discipline notices. It's like they're treated as if they literally cannot think for themselves.
Section 4. Thinkers versus followers and the true purpose of education.
So the crucial point here, and this quote from the transcript really hits the nail on the head, let this sink in for a second. Education was supposed to create thinkers, but sometimes it feels designed to create silent followers. This is the ultimate cost of this power imbalance. When schools prioritize unquestioning obedience over intellectual freedom, they're actively crushing the exact critical thinking skills they're supposed to be building.
Now look, to be totally clear, we're not arguing for total anarchy here. Rules are important. Discipline absolutely matters. No one is saying a campus should operate without any structure whatsoever, but the undeniable takeaway is that respect should go both ways. If this is a transactional system where students are paying heavily for a service, that immense financial contribution should at the very least earn them the basic respect of being treated like capable, responsible adults. As we think about students finally leaving campus, degree in hand, we really have to ask ourselves this final, provocative question. Why does a system funded entirely by students so rarely actually listen to them? It really exposes a fundamental flaw in how modern education is structured. We've built this massive industry around shaping young minds, yet we consistently deny those exact same minds a voice in how they are governed.
And that brings us to our final thought for this explainer. Education should build minds, not just obedience. It's a real challenge for all of us to rethink the true value of our education. Are we buying a space to learn, to challenge things, and to grow? Or are we just paying massive sums of money to be told what to do? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I hope this deep dive gave you a totally new perspective on a system we walk past every single day. Keep questioning the rules.